You know what? It's tradition at this point. Time to review another Paper Mario game. And this time, it's my favorite one. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of the 1,000-Year Door. An awfully long time ago, in a strange and far-off land, a big bustling town thrived. It was a town where all people lived very happily lives, and it was said that the town was very prosperous. But one day, tragedy befell this blessed place. A great cataclysm struck the town and its people. Darkness filled the skies, and the earth roared and shook. It was as if this very world had came to a violent end, and in but a single night, the town sank in the depths of the earth. Many moons rose and set. Stories of the town passed into the pages of fairy tales. And when the town's site no longer held relics of its past, people gathered at the spot and built a new town. But word soon spread amongst the people who moved in that an ancient city lay deep underground, and that a magnificent treasure rested there. Indeed, this is the tale of the fabled treasure of Rogueport. Yes, this is where it begins, in the sea town of Rogueport, the tale of the quest of the legendary treasure, and the 1,000-Year Door starts here. Finally, I have a minute without Toadsworth watching over me. He's so paranoid. I came all the way here on holiday, only to be stuck with Toadsworth. It's so stifling. Once in a while, I like to get the chance to look around on my own and see what I want. But now that I'm doing that, all I see is this town has a very, distinct flavor.
Oh, Missy! Won't you buy something? I have a wide assortment of knickknacks and doodads, but this is a special favorite.
Well, that's a pretty box. What's inside it?
This box holds a map that shows where to find treasure. But the box has a magic lock on it, and it will only open for a pure and noble heart. As you can see, it won't so much as budge if one such as myself touches it.
Oh.
If this box will open for you, Missy, then you may have whatever it is inside. Go on, hold it.
I suppose I could try opening it. Hello, everyone! Matt the Cat here, and welcome to my biggest, longest review yet. This is Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door. I love this game. Let me repeat that. I love this game. This is my favorite video game of all time. If I were to make a list of my favorite video games, Bowser's Inside Story, Splatoon, Pikmin 3, Kirby's Epic Yarn, Crash Team Racing, and even Super Mario Odyssey, 1,000-Year Door would top every single one of them. No contest. This game holds a special place in my heart, and I am very thankful to have it in my life. I had a GameCube when I was a kindergartner, and I would always come back to this game. It inspired me to draw the characters from the game. It taught me how to read at a very young age. It taught me how game design works, along with good lore and storytelling. It even got me into other RPGs, like Pokemon, Undertale, and Miitopia. Heck, when they revealed the Switch remake, I cried. I felt so happy. After experiencing the last 3 games that disrespected the RPG format and failed to be quote-unquote action adventures, Nintendo and Intelligent Systems finally went back to the RPG roots. But why is this game getting praised to this day? Why do fans consider this the best Paper Mario? Why is this my favorite video game of all time? Let's find out. Now before we begin, let me go over a few things. This video will be more of a retrospective rather than a review. I feel like a retrospective is the best way to cover the game since it introduces a lot of mechanics, characters, and lore as you go on. I will look at the game with a critical eye and review parts as we go on, but for the most part, I will cover each chapter and its stories. And speaking of covering each chapter, I will cover 1 chapter per video. Yep, this retrospective will be at least 8 videos long. Each one will go in depth on the chapter's story, its characters, its game mechanics, and how its levels are designed. This is an RPG, about 40 hours of content. And one more thing, I will be playing the Nintendo Switch remake of this game. It's fairly recent, it's more accessible to the public, and it makes some quality of life improvements that make it better than the original. I don't think I'll go back to the GameCube version anytime soon. Alright, with that out of the way, grab your crystal stars, open the door, and come with me as we journey through my favorite game. This is a legendary retrospective of Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door!
It's Mario, and he's paper?
Alright, I get it!
Our story begins with Parakarry delivering a letter.
Malcolm!
Oh man, I lost count on how many times I've seen this cutscene. I remembered having to erase my save files just to beat this game again. Anyways, Luigi informs Mario that it's a letter from Princess Peach, and he begins to read it. It says that she's in Rogueport and came across a magical map that leads to treasure. She doesn't want to find it on her own, so she asks Mario for help.
You cannot legally deny our quest for the monarchy unless you will be executed. I will bring back capital punishment. Don't think I won't, Mario.
She put the map in the letter and tells him to bring it with him.
What do you know? It's true. There's a weathered old map in here with the letter. Check it out.
And thus we set sail for Rogueport. Our story has just begun. Prologue! A Rogue's Welcome! Excuse me, sir. Please wake up, sir. The town you'd be speaking of has come into view. Look, that's Rogueport. It's time to start the treasure hunt. After our trip being delayed by rough weather, we make it to Rogueport. The sailor reminds us that the town isn't safe, and he leaves. Which, now that I think about it, this town does look unsafe. Oh my lord, what has happened here?
Hey, what do you want? Get away from me, freak.
What the? Who the hell is this cape-wearing freak? And why is he after a Goomba? Is he flirting?
Damn! You got a stupid fat ass! Oh. Damn!
We just stepped foot on this town and there's already trouble! He threatens the Goomba to give him information, and after getting denied, tries to capture her.
No! Stop right there, you weirdos! I'll scream! Really?
Well, usually I'll make an
Bye!
joke and leave, but as I try to walk past them, I activate the trigger that starts the next cutscene. The freak does not take kindly to our appearance and goes for the kill. Battle time! I'll go over how battling works later, but for now, all you need to do is jump and hammer this guy. This is the easiest fight in the game. In fact, it's so easy that it's impossible to lose. Unless you constantly take damage from the piranhas in the water, you're never losing this fight. After defeating the freak, you'll gain star points. These are your experience. Again, more on that later. This freak can't accept defeat, so he ambushes us with his minions and attack us. You know, I feel like there would have been a better way to counteract this ambush. Maybe dash out before the first minion lands? Or do a tornado spin Crash Bandicoot style? Or, oh, I know! We pepper spray them with Axe deodorant!
I gotta solve this!
What's that noise? What is that?
There he goes.
It's not keeling over.
Okay.
Lucy, what are you spraying?
I might have mixed myself trying to spray deodorant at like a crump.
Oh my god.
Okay, first off, stop spraying deodorant for that long. Two, if you want to spray something, get compressed air, you idiot.
Okay, I feel better.
Hey, wash it all out.
Oh my god.
Why
Just
did you
spray
stop me?
yourself with fucking deodorant.
I thought it'd be funny.
Well, what the
Imagine
fuck?
if you that.
Actually, never mind. Let's just get out of here. My Switch can't handle that many characters at once. We make our escape and are introduced to the Goomba we rescued. Her name is Goombella, and she's a junior at the University of Goom. She came to Rogueport to look for a legendary treasure. Huh, what a coincidence. I'm looking for a legendary treasure too. After showing her the magical map and telling her where we got it from, Toadsworth jumps in. He tells us that Princess Peach is missing and is understandably worried, but he feels much better now that Mario has arrived. Wait, Peach is missing? But she told me to come here. Where could she be? Luckily, Goombella has an idea. One of her professors is in town researching the treasure. If we find him and show him our map, he'll tell us more info and hopefully we'll catch up to Peach. I don't see why not. Let's start looking. And with that, we gain our first party member, Goombella.
What's up everyone, Larry Boy Fanatic here, and today I'll be more than happy to talk about the first party member you get in Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, Goombella. Goombella is a junior at the University of Goom who's majoring in archaeology. She's a friendly girl, but she could be pretty sassy, not afraid to call out anyone who's acting like an idiot, and just flat out roasts anyone that she doesn't like. Damn! Want some aloe vera for that burn? She's jam-packed with knowledge. Press X and she'll tell you about the location you're in. Doing the same thing next to an NPC will tell you everything about said person. Her starter moves in battle are Head Bonk and Tattle. Head Bonk is basically her equivalent to a jump attack, and Tattle lets her analyze an enemy. She'll tell you everything you need to know about your foe, its max health, attack, and defense power, and some tips on how to approach it, with a little sassy opinions sprinkled in. Tattling an enemy will reveal their health bar, They say knowledge is power. She has 2 other moves that can only be earned by upgrading her. Her first upgraded move is a multi-bonk, which allows her to head bonk an enemy multiple times. However, keep in mind, this move is for more skilled players since the 4th bounce is frame perfect. Her last upgraded move is a rally wink, which grants Mario an extra turn. This move alone is the main reason why many consider Goombella the best partner, and it's very useful if you rely heavily on Mario's attacks. Honestly, I kinda like Goombella. Aside from Vivian, she's a pretty cool female character. In conclusion, Goombella is a really good starter partner. Her knowledge is useful, her over-the-top sassiness is hilarious, and she gets really good once she unlocks Rally Wink. She'll make a great archaeologist once she graduates. Anyways, Maddie Catty, I gotta go save Bunleyburg, so thank you for inviting me to this amazing video. Back over to you, Matt. See ya! Whoop!
Thanks, LBF. Well, you might have heard that she's really useful in battle. Once again, we'll get there once it becomes relevant. Anyways, let's go find her professor. While we're searching, let's talk about this location we've started in. Usually the start of every Mario game takes place in an upbeat, vibrant, colorful world. It's welcoming to the player as the adventure starts. Even if it takes place outside the Mushroom Kingdom, it still has that welcoming charm at the start. But here, you start in the town of Rogueport, and it's a nasty town, covered in trash, graffiti, and crime. There's pieces of paper fluttering in the air, broken cobblestone holes on the ground, defenseless victims, snobby rich people, and thieves. Hey! You might be wondering, but what about the other Mario games? Some of them see the Mushroom Kingdom in ruins, leaving a disastrous mess behind. Well, yes, but in those games, the Mushroom Kingdom was attacked, usually by Bowser. But Rogueport was born like this. It has not been a safe place since day one, and it will not stop being dangerous. The only other Mario game I can think of that starts in a sketchy location is Luigi's Mansion. Do you see how dark and creepy that mansion is? So why is Rogueport like this? There are 2 sides of Rogueport, and each one is reserved by a group. The Pianta Syndicate and the Robo Thieves. The east side of Rogueport is owned by Ishnael, the leader of the Robo Thieves. This is the dangerous side of town. It's not well maintained, crooks roam around often, and there's a hidden alley for the bandits to hide. There's even a guard that will not let outsiders in unless they pay a fee. Or if you want to stand up to the man, you can fight him. Gus is not meant to be fought after Chapter 1 is done, but you can take him down if you play your cards right. The west side of Rogueport is... Huh? What?
Now I have to buy a new contact lens, but you're gonna pay for it.
Hey, I didn't do it on purpose. Give me a break.
I'm gonna block the gate to the west side until you bring me a new contact lens.
Are you serious? What a Karen! Fine. Guess I'll order one from the shop. Hopefully it arrives soon. Once you step foot on the east side, you'll immediately get robbed. Want to get your coins back? Go to the house behind Podley's bar, talk to the bandit, and he'll give you your coins back. Also, can I just point out how filthy this home is? Ew! Hey, did you know in the Japanese GameCube version, this house has blood stains and a chalked toad body on the ground? Just thought you'd like to know. After a bit of roaming, we finally find the professor. This is Professor Frankly, and he's also researching the legendary treasure of Rogueport. Goombella convinces him that she wants to find the treasure, and Frankly will gladly help us. There's a lot of different theories on what the treasure really is, and none of the books he researched can come to an agreement. However, they all claim that you must get the crystal stars and take them to the 1,000-year door.
To find the treasure of yore, take the 7 crystal stars to the 1,000-year door.
Hold the magical map aloft before the entrance to the 1,000-year door. Then the stars will light the way that leads to the stones of yesterday.
Luckily for us, the 1,000-year door is just below Rogueport. Now, if only we had the magical map, we could— Hey, wait a minute! I have the map!
What?
Really? We show Frankly the magical map, and we immediately set foot in the sewers. Whoa! What's with all these ancient set pieces? Did this place used to be something else? What happened to it? Well, before any of my questions get answered, trouble appears, in typical Rogueport fashion. These Goombas do not take kindly to us walking into their neighborhood. After Goombella defends Mario and tells them they stink, they get offended and charge at us. It's time to talk about what makes this game stand out, the battles. On each turn, you can select a move for Mario and his partner. When performing an attack, you're required to do an action command. Action commands are little mini-games that deal the best amount of damage. They can vary from timing your A button presses, holding the stick to the left, pressing the button as soon as the cursor aligns, letting go of the stick at the right time. The list goes on. If you do an action command correctly, you'll get a better outcome for your move. For example, Mario's jump will allow him to attack an enemy twice, so if you time your A button presses right, you'll deal 2 points of damage, so that's 2 A presses for a total of 2 damage. Mario's hammer requires you to hold the stick to the left, and once the star lights up, you release and deal 2 damage. You can even block enemy attacks with action commands. By pressing the A button as soon as the enemy attacks, you can block the attack and receive little to no damage. Each attack from enemies vary, and you'll most likely take damage either way, but it's still a good idea to block attacks. However, you can counter enemy attacks with super guards. Super guards are controlled by the B button, and you can deal 1 point of damage back at an enemy, though the timing is much harder to do. Thankfully, the Switch Remake makes the timing easier than the GameCube version. I swear, I couldn't do super guards back then because it was a 3-frame window. I guess I should be thankful. Each enemy you'll encounter will have different moves and gimmicks. Take these Goombas, for example. We got your basic Goomba, which can be KO'd by anything. Heh, pushover. Then we got a spiky Goomba, which is pretty self-explanatory. You'll take damage if you try to jump or head bonk. And Paragoombas are out of range of your hammer. Only jump attacks work. There's a lot of enemies in this game, and some of them require a different strategy to beat them. If you find an enemy you've never seen before, and you don't know how to approach it, use Goombella's tattle, and she'll give you tips and tricks. You can also first strike an enemy in the overworld. First strikes allow you to attack an enemy before your turn. Be careful, some enemies can first strike you as well. So the challenge to overcome here is to know your foe's strengths and weaknesses, use the right moves to your advantage, and perform the action commands correctly. I love this system. Not only does it do a great job teaching newcomers how an RPG works, but it plays differently compared to other RPGs. The numbers may be small, but they're consistent, so it's easy to keep track on the amount of damage from attacks. And the only tension is your decision and execution on fighting the enemies. It's a bit of a handholder at the start, but once we get to a later part in Chapter 1, we will see how tense the battles can get. Battling in this game is pretty straightforward. You simply select attacks, do the action commands, and damage the foes. There's no other strings attached, no attacks that are one-time uses, no unorganized menus to navigate through, no forced gimmicks to slow down the pace, no lack of challenge for being too easy, no puzzles before engaging with the combat, and no required items that are mandatory to beating certain enemies. Whew! Man, I've been wanting to talk about how good this combat system is since reviewing the Sticker Star trilogy. Anyways, defeating enemies will grant you star points. These are your experience and your main incentive to battle. If you get 100 of them, you'll gain a level up and get to choose one of 3 stats to upgrade. HP is obviously how many hits you take before you die. FP is how much magic you have to perform stronger attacks. And BP is how many badge points you have to equip badges. The more you level up, the more stats you can increase. So get battling and earn your star points. After all, it's an RPG, not an action-adventure. Ha! Take that, Tanabe! Well, we make quick work of these Goomba bullies, and they run home crying. Okay, I need to get something out of my chest. This cutscene featuring the Goombas caused some controversy before the game released. Why? Because their dialogue was changed. In the GameCube version, the Goombas would catcall Goombella and get offended after she rejects them. When it was changed in the Switch version, a lot of people got mad, saying that the game was censored. Censored? What are you guys talking about? Are you really upset that they removed the catcalling line? Those Goombas are not even important to the story. They just show up, battle, and flee after defeat, never to be seen again. Who cares if their lines were changed? This is not valid criticism. This is looking for something to complain. There's so many great things about this remake, and all you care is that one change of dialogue that has no relevance? Wake up, people! Okay, let's continue. We go deeper in the depths of the sewers, fighting more Goombas along the way, and picking up a few items. We'll eventually come across a new enemy called a Spinia. It's a pretty fast enemy that will do swift attacks, but once you get the timing down, you'll be too fast for it. We press a switch to reveal stairs. Oh look, a key! I bet it's important later. We stumble upon a black chest. Hey, you! Can you hear me? You can? That must mean you're the hero of legend! So apparently someone is trapped in this chest. Long ago, an evil demon cursed it to be trapped, and has waited for a long time for someone to come. So it tells us to look for a key and unlock the chest. Hey, I knew this key would have some relevance. Here you go! Whee! Fools! So this thing has cast a curse on us. Now whenever we step on a plane panel, we can turn into a paper airplane and glide through the air. Wait, this is supposed to be a curse? It feels more like a new ability. Are you sure you're a villain? Well, never mind. With our newly acquired, curse, we glide on our way to the next room. Oh, Mario, Goombella, look at that! Is that the 1,000-year door? I can't believe it's real! So the legends are true. Come, let's move closer. Whoa! Look at the size of that door! It's so ancient.
Professor, what's going on?
What was that all about? Let's head back to the study and figure out what just happened.
Oh yeah.
So turns out the map has radar-like functions that show us the location of the crystal stars. And the first star is located to Petal Meadows. There should be a pipe underground that leads there. Frankly asked us where we got the map, and is surprised to find out Peach sent it to us. She came to visit him earlier to learn more about the treasure, and told her his suspicions about Petal Meadows. There's no doubt that she went there by herself. And after we bumped into that one suspicious group that's after the same thing, it's most likely that she'll get kidnapped again. So we say our goodbyes, get our very first badge, and make our way to Petal Meadows. Huh, what is that thing?
It's kinda soggy and majorly gross.
This is a big blooper. He's a mini-boss that tests everything you've learned so far. He attacks with his tentacles when upside down, and sprays ink at you when right side up. You gotta destroy his tentacles to drop him on the ground. Once he falls, he'll be stunned for a turn, and then he'll get back up and start attacking again. Overall, Blooper serves as a tutorial for boss fights, and it does a great job teaching the players how to overcome them. After making seafood out of this squid, we conclude the prologue. Now cross these platforms, enter the pipe, and begin the first chapter. Chapter 1! Castle and Dragon!
Well, here we are, the Petal Meadows, where folks say a crystal star hides. Woohoo! Here we go, Mario, the start of our adventure. This is completely awesome!
Welcome to Petal Meadows, where the grass is green, the collectibles are valuable, and nothing can go wrong.
Whoa, what was that? I've never seen anything that's humongous before. It looks kind of scary, too. It definitely flew into that castle back there, right? Let's get going in case it comes back. Here we go. Again.
Okay. I guess we'll worry about that later. Anyway, we continue down the path fighting more Goombas and collecting free items. Here's a fun secret. Bash this hill 10 times and you'll get a horsetail. Looks like we can't cross. What do we do? Do we use paperization to create a bridge? Maybe we use the cutout technique to get across. Oh, how about we use the thousandfold arms to close the gap? Nope. We find a hidden pipe in the bush, jump in the background, and hit a switch. Now, was that so hard? Wait, this is Petalburg? Oh boy! I can't wait to challenge my father at the normal type gym! Oh, wait. Wrong game. We're greeted by a Koopa Troopa, and are told people stopped visiting because of a dragon named Hooktail. Hey, we saw a dragon earlier. Was that Hooktail? We asked the Koopa if he knows anything about the crystal stars, and suggest that we talk to the mayor who lives in a pink house.
A pink house? Sounds totally hideous, but it should be easy to find. Thanks for your help.
Well, while we're searching, let's talk about this little toad. He loves playing video games, and he's currently playing one called Fire Emblem. While I'm not a fan of the series, I will say it was made by Intelligent Systems, the same team responsible for this game. Pretty cool, right? Oh, it's you. I have a huge grudge against this Bob-omb. I'll explain in 6 more chapters. What I don't have a grudge on is Dupree. However, Goombella hates him. This guy is a huge simp, just like Johnny Bravo, and he's trying to catcall some girls. He fails every time, but is very persistent. This won't be the only time we'll see this disco wannabe. We find the pink house and meet the mayor. He thinks we're thieves at first and freaks out, but after we assure him that we're looking for the crystal stars, he calms down. He tells us that Hooktail has one of them, and the townspeople have been terrorized by her. After telling him we're gonna fight the dragon by selecting the wrong dialogue options, he tells us what we need to know. The only way to Hooktail Castle is through a pipe hidden in the meadows. In order to reveal the pipe, we need the Sunstone and the Moonstone. Sun and Moonstone? Huh. If I had a nickel for every time this game referenced Pokemon, I'd have 2 nickels.
Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right?
They are located in Schwank Fortress to the right of Petalburg, so we say our goodbyes and tell the gatekeeper to open up.
Excuse me. I beg your pardon. Wait a moment, please. Pardon me for yelling like that. I was panicking. How to begin? My name's Coops. I heard you're traveling to Hooktail's castle. I have a favor to ask. Oh, just forget it. Never mind. Ignore me. Goodbye.
Okay, that was weird. What do you think's going on inside that guy's shell?
I don't know. He's weird, but I still feel bad for him for some reason. Whatever. We make our way to Schwank Fortress and encounter a new enemy, Koopa Troopas. Unlike the friendly Koopas in Petalburg, these guys are jerks. Due to them wearing shells, their defense is a little higher, so your hammer will do less damage. However, if you use jump or head bonk, you can flip them over for a turn, and their defense will drop to 0. Its only attack is a shell toss, which is pretty fast. Practice your timing to guard well. Okay, since we're further ahead in this chapter, I think now is a good time to talk about the battle system again. You may have noticed that there's an audience watching you. Since battling takes place in a theater, the audience will cheer you on when you attack your foes. Perform an action command correctly, and you'll hype up the crowd, giving you star power. Star power allows you to use special moves, like Sweet Treat. Each special move will consume a certain amount of star power, and the only way to fill the meter back up is by cheering the crowd. Wow, what a fun and clever mechanic! Having the audience give you star power by giving them a good show? Now we have another reason to use our action commands. Speaking of action commands, there's a faster way to get more star power, called stylish commands. By pressing the A button during certain moves, you can make Mario or his partner do tricks when performing attacks. This will make the crowd go crazy and fill your star meter quickly. However, each stylish command works differently for every move, so to give you an example, let's talk about Mario's jump. Right after his first jump, press A. Right after his second jump, press A again. So it's A to damage while posing. For Mario's hammer, right when he bashes the enemy, press A and he'll do a backflip. When his feet touch the ground, press A again and he'll strike a pose. So it's A after the hammer attack. For Goombella's head bonk, press A before the attack and she'll do multiple flips towards the enemy. This one is very tricky to pull off. For Tattle, right after she bios the enemy, press A and she'll do a dance. The only moves that don't utilize stylish commands are items and special moves, so practice them on Mario, partners, and badge moves. Talk to the Battle Master if you ever want to practice them.
Well, I'm gonna have to say it. Let's go gambling! I can't stop winning!
So what the heck was that? Well, every time you attack, a random slot icon appears on the top right corner of the screen. If there are two of them that match, you get to spin a third wheel for a chance to match them. If you match them all, you get a bingo, which fills every seat in the theater, and one of your stats will be filled to the max. Mushrooms will fill all your HP, flowers will fill all your FP, stars will fill all your SP, and shine sprites will fill all three. However, if you match 3 poison shrooms, your HP and FP will be cut in half, and the crowd will run away. Try not to match the poison shrooms. Whenever you're battling a foe, you may have to deal with the hater in the crowd. They'll have an object ready to throw at you. In order to counteract it, press the X button to attack them. This will scare them off immediately. However, there will be actual fans that will throw good items at you. Try not to attack them, or you'll lose some crowd members. Ooh! That looked painful! Yep, random stage hazards are a thing. Whenever you use a certain attack, usually ground-based, there's a chance for either the backdrop or a ceiling object to fall on stage. It can either land on you, your partner, or your foe. They usually deal damage, but sometimes they deal status effects, like dizziness or electrified. In other RPGs like Pokemon, random chances usually happen when performing moves. When you use an attack, sometimes you'll get a critical hit, or it'll just miss entirely. But in here, it's a way to shake up the strategic combat. Since you never know what's going to happen on stage, this gets the player to pay attention and to look out for incoming hazards. Besides, fallen backdrops, fallen lights, those are accidents that happen on stage anyway. Immersion at its finest. If I were to complain about any of these features in battle, it would be the audience throwing things at you. I remembered back when I played the GameCube version, I would use the battles as a pause screen, so I would put down the controller, go get a snack or use the bathroom or whatever, and come back only to see Mario take damage from a hater. Well, that's just not fair. You can't stay AFK for too long until some random NPC just chucks an item at you. What if you get an important call? What if your friend is distracting you? What if you're streaming and you stop to read chat? Though, to be fair, this is more of a situational inconvenience. Plus, for the Switch version, you can just press the home button to pause the battle. We'll talk more about the battle system in a later video. For now, the show must go on! As we continue down the path, we pick up a POW block and enter a little fort. Huh, what odd-looking statues? Oh, it's a trap! These are bald clefts. These little rocks have a defensive 2, making normal attacks futile. We could power smash to deal a little damage, but we need a more efficient way. Hey, maybe this POW block will work. Well, that did the trick. Up ahead is another path with Goombas and Koopas. We enter another fort. Huh, what odd looking? This is another mini-boss, isn't it? Yep, called it. These guys are bristles. They are completely covered in spikes and have high defense. Obviously jumping won't work, but hammering won't work either. They'll counter you with their side spikes. We need something to attack them from a distance and pierce their defense. Thankfully, there's a hidden POW block in this bush before the fortress. Let's give them a POW to the noggin. Now you could make the argument that these fights force you to use a required item, just like in Sticker Star and Color Splash, but I see this more as a tutorial on high defense enemies. You will encounter foes that will be immune to your attacks, and you will have to use ground-based attacks to pierce their defense. As we continue down another path full of enemies, we make it to a third fort. No POW block this time, but we get a chance to heal. Inside the fort is a lone thwomp. After waking him up, he challenges us. Another mini-boss, eh? Alright, bring it on! Wait a minute, this isn't a mini-boss! We're forced to play a quiz with the goal of getting 5 questions correct. Get 3 wrong, and we'll be punished. Unfortunately, I forgot my brain back home, so I'm gonna have to wing it. What? I thought I had that! Darn it, why is this so hard? Oh crap, this is not good. Failing the quiz will force us to battle 4 clefts. These have the same HP and defense power of bald clefts, but they have spikes on their heads. Really tough enemies that can't be harmed by normal attacks. Unfortunately for you guys, I already know your weakness. You think your high defense is gonna scare me? Well, let me show you my power. The thwomp gets extremely peeved at us, and has no choice but to let us through. What a sore loser! We now enter Schwank Fortress, hit the badge block for a multi-jump badge, an attack that lets you bounce on every enemy in front of you. While exploring the fortress, you'll come across fuzzies. These guys will stick to you and suck up your HP. Guarding them has a weird timing, so practice to get a good feel on their attacks. At the end of both sides lie the Sunstone and the Moonstone, but each stone is guarded by a group of fuzzies. No big deal, a fire flower is just enough to eliminate these pests. Hey, what's up with this weird guy? Well, whatever it is, he won't let us leave, so we gotta fight him. This is a gold fuzzy. Unlike regular fuzzies, this one doesn't suck up HP? Really? Huh, that's a relief. Let's just get him with a hard-hitting item. I sure hope there's no fuzzy horde to catch us off guard. Oh, I might have spoke too soon. This fuzzy horde has much more HP than the gold fuzzy, and will do multiple attacks on you. Focus on killing the gold fuzzy, and you'll claim your victory in no time.
Well, that just happened.
We got the stones and head back to Petalburg. Let's see what this kid has been up to lately. Oh, you're playing Paper Mario 64? Excellent choice. Well, if you recall, we saw a few rocks with keyholes in front of the castle. Let's check it out.
Excuse me. It's Mario, right? Look,
can I help you?
Oh, please take me with you to fight Hooktail, please, I'm begging you!
Whoa, slow down there, kiddo. Why all of a sudden? Turns out his father went to fight Hooktail and never came back, so he wants to avenge him. He's also been known by many as a weakling and wants to prove the others wrong. You know, I feel pretty bad for this guy. Let's give him a chance.
For real? No kidding? Yes! Thank you so much! You won't regret this!
Welcome to the team, Coops!
Hi everyone, my name is Blaze. You may recognize me from the Egg Wars videos, Salmon Run videos, and just recently the Mario Party ones. But for also many voice acting roles in the MTC universe, such as Bowser Jr. in MPH, Tails in Sonicfeld, Pac-Man in that one skit, but more about that some other day. For right now, this video isn't mostly focused on Paper Mario the 1000-Year Door. More specifically, Koops! Koops has always been a very shy Koopa, always being labeled as the weakling. But ever since his dad never came back from fighting Hooktail, he musters up his courage to avenge him. I guess you could say he's coming out of his shell. Anyway, his overworld ability is a shell toss. Pressing X will allow him to strike enemies, collect items, or press switches. You can even hold down the X button to keep him in place. When you're ready to launch him, let go of X. During battle, he has higher defense than Mario, probably because of his shell, so he won't take as much damage. He'll start off with two moves, Shell Toss and Power Shell. Shell Toss will deal damage to the enemy from the front, and Power Shell will deal damage to every enemy on the ground. Koops can learn two more moves if he's upgraded. One of them being Shell Shield, which will cover Mario in a giant shell and protect him from enemy attacks. The other one is Shell Slam, which will send Koops directly at every ground enemy, piercing their defense. Whoa! This guy has one shell of a partner! Although he does have a few weaknesses. Since his attacks are all ground-based, he can't reach any enemies that are flying in the air. Maybe we should ask his paratroopa cousins. And if someone happens to jump on him, he'll be flipped over and dangle helplessly. Mario, help this guy! He's a fallen turtle and can't get up! Personally, well, I know that I'm voicing Koops for Madden stuff, but I have never actually played the 1000-Year Door. But from the little bits that this script and other stuff Matt has shown me before, I've come to really like this character, and in some ways, I kind of relate to him. I've always been kind of, you know, shy and stuff, but I've always come back. I've always proved myself in the end. Overall, Koops is pretty useful. He may not do well against flying enemies, but his slightly higher defense makes him pretty tanky. He may look shy and weak on the outside, but he has a brave and noble heart on the inside. This goes to show that being brave doesn't mean to not be scared. It means doing something even if you are scared. Personally, I think he will become more like his father one day. Thank you everyone. Thank you Matt for having me.
Alright, let's go slay a dragon. And just before we could set foot, a nag arrives. Koopy Koo overheard Koops about going to fight Hooktail, and she doesn't want him to go. After he gives a good reason, she refuses to take no for an answer and pounds us. What a bitch! This is why I don't want a girlfriend. Let's just slay the dragon already. Now that we have Koops, we can go in this pipe and pick up a Happy Heart badge. This will heal Mario a little bit of health each turn. Now that we're back where we started, we put the Sun and Moon Stones in the slots, and they reveal two switches. We get a clue hinting that we need to hit both switches. With Mario's hammer and Koops' shell, we open the way to Hooktail's castle. Let's go in. Huh. I was expecting this place to be more intimidating. Oh, that's the castle. Wow. Well, we can't do much since the bridge is out, but we can go underneath the bridge and get ourselves an HP Plus badge. This will raise your max HP without needing a level up. In order to get to the other side, we go to the upper floor and use the paper plane to glide across. Now that we're inside, we come across a new enemy, Paratroopa. This guy can attack us with a skydive attack, but if you jump on him, he'll lose his wings and flip over. Try to stun them before they get you. In the same room, we get a power bounce badge. This will let us keep jumping on an enemy as long as we time our A button presses. I'm not using it. The fourth bounce is frame perfect. We enter the next room and it's filled with bones.
Oh! Oh no! These bones, they remind me of my father. There's no doubt about it. It's my father! Dad!
But wait a minute. It looks like his bones are holding a letter. Maybe we should read it. In the letter, he writes about Hooktail's weaknesses. She can't handle creatures that start with F and end with ROG. And there's an item in the castle that's related to the weakness. It can also use tricks against you whenever it's low on health. What kind of tricks? Well, unfortunately, we don't get an answer because his time is up. He says his final words to Colorado and...
Huh? My son Colorado? Not Coops? Oops. Yeah, I guess this isn't my father after all. But if this is my father, I wonder if that pile of bones over there is my dad.
I'm not exactly comfortable with searching corpses, but I guess we have no choice. Uh-oh, it's alive! Let's take it out before... Oh my god! A zombie apocalypse! Get these skeletons off of me and go after the Red Bones! Oh, right, that's his name, Red Bones. This guy will revive himself after you defeat him. He'll also create more troops in case he's low on minions. Try taking out the regular Dull Bones before finishing him off. We make the undead, dead again, and continue exploring. We will bump into more of these Dull Bones along the way. These will throw bones at us and build reinforcements, but unlike their red boss, they can't be revived. Thankfully, they're weak against attacks that hit all foes. Oh, look at this! Our very first Shine Sprite. What do they do? Come back next video and I'll tell you. As you explore more of the castle, you'll be solving a lot of puzzles. You'll be pressing switches, writing blocks, collecting keys, unlocking doors, and do some platforming. Maybe pick up a hidden star piece along the way. Ooh, dungeon cells! Let's go in one. Well, this isn't good. We're trapped here forever. Hopefully this box has something we can escape with. Wait a minute. This box looks familiar. It calls us a legendary hero. It tells us how long it's been in the box. And it tasked us to find a key. This is another curse box, isn't it? Well, it's not like we can just leave, so let's go help this box. Huh. Anonymous room full of holes? Ah, who cares? We got the key!
Mario, look at that! Oh, I don't like the look of this. Come on, run!
No time to dawdle, we gotta hustle! Navigate your way out of the spike maze or else it's game over! Whew! Okay, now let's open that stupid box. Fools! What the? Oh no! Who could have seen this coming? No, Mr. Curse Spirit, please don't hit me with the curse. Oh no! I'm doomed! Okay, not really. We can now press and hold ZR to turn into a flat sheet of paper.
Well, that just happened.
We use our new curse to squeeze through the bars and escape. Hey, let's grab that badge over there. Huh. Makes attack sound froggy. What did that note say earlier? She can't handle creatures that start with F and end with ROG. And there's an item in the castle that's related to the weakness. This is Hooktail's weakness? There's a green key locked behind bars in the Red Bones room. Use the paper ability to grab it and unlock the next door. The next puzzle is pretty interesting. You have to press these switches to create bridges. After making 2 paths, you come across a dead end. What do you do now?
Somebody has to go out of the window.
As you ascend higher up the castle, you'll come across a life shroom. Whenever your HP drops to 0, this little guy will restore your HP up to 10. Kinda like the fairies in the Zelda games. So apparently this is Miss Meows. She's a globe-trotting thief that came to the castle to look for a rare badge. However, just like Dupree, Goombella also hates her. She calls her ugly and gets offended when she smooches Mario. Her reaction is just priceless. Before she leaves, Miss Meows tells us about a special badge we need to beat Hooktail, which we already have. Now that I'm looking at her, would she make a perfect candidate for the Squeak Squad?
What is with that girl? There's no way you'd fall for all that flirting, right, Mario?
Oh, and be sure to collect all the goodies before you leave. We use the yellow key to unlock this door and enter the next room. Another linear hallway with more baddies. We ride this block up, and now we have to tightrope on these thin paths. Oh man, I remembered this part being annoying in the GameCube version. Since these paths are so thin, it's easy to fall off of them, forcing me to go back up and try again. Thankfully, they made one simple change in the remake. When Mario is close to falling off, he has a brief moment of hesitation. This allows me to readjust my stick and continue crossing with ease. Oh, thank God they fixed something tedious. We continue going up the castle. There's a hidden badge that you can collect if you drop down, but you can enter this pipe and go back where you came from. I will explain more of these fast travel pipes in a future video, but just know, these pipes will make backtracking less tedious. Whoa! This place is massive! We even get a spiral staircase to show us how big it is! I remembered being amazed by the spectacle as a kid. It's crazy how they managed to recreate it on Switch. Well, this must be where Hooktail sleeps. If you haven't done so already, I highly recommend equipping the attack effects G. Though not required, it'll make your battle against Hooktail easier. With my current badges equipped and ready, we enter the door to Hooktail's room. Who dares approach me? I didn't expect more to come to steal the treasure I protect. That was foolish, I fear. Do you really think you can beat me? But you're so small, and you don't appear tasty. I suppose you might make a good snack. After gnawing on the bottom of your feet, I'll salt you to crispy goodness and gobble you down. Head first! Snack time, little appetizers. But which one of you morsels shall I taste first? Hooktail, a dragon that terrorizes the citizens of Petalburg. With a max HP of 20, attack power of 5, and defense power of 1. She can attack by breathing fire or stomping on you with her claws. Her attacks hit pretty hard for a Chapter 1 boss, and she doesn't hold anything back. Well, too bad for you, Hookie, because I know your weakness. Equipping the Attack Effects G badge will make our attacks sound like frogs, and we all know what she's weak against. Now that we attacked her with frog sound effects, she'll deal less damage, and her defense drops to 0. You still have to be careful while fighting her, but your chance of winning will greatly improve. Now, you could argue that this is very similar to the things in Sticker Star and Color Splash, but I'm gonna have to disagree on you. The things in Sticker Star and Color Splash are flawed from a game design perspective because they're a forced requirement in order to beat the boss. This doesn't work because you can't figure out the boss's patterns or learn the most optimal way of taking them down. You just use a random thing and hope for the best. And yes, it is possible to beat some of the bosses without things, but they take too long and eat so much of your time. These games punish you for not using things. The Attack FX G badge, on the other hand, is optional. It does help your chances on being Hooktail, and I highly recommend it if you're a newcomer, but you can still beat Hooktail without equipping the badge, and it doesn't even take that long to finish the fight. You might be wondering why you would ever fight Hooktail without Attack FX G. Because it's an RPG. There's no wrong answer when it comes to fighting enemies. These type of games are built around so many playstyles for beginners and veterans. Feel like Hooktail is too easy? Don't equip the badge. Are you struggling? Then equip it. The game's difficulty is based on how you play it. Experiment. Strategize. Let your imagination run wild. I said it once and I'll say it again. It's an RPG, not an action-adventure. Whew. I love saying that. Anyway, keep wailing on Hooktail, stay alive with your healing items, and finish the fight. Wait, hold up a moment. I give up, please. I won't be so bad anymore, I promise. In fact, I'm sorry for everything. Yeah. To prove it, I'll give you 10,000 coins. What do you say? Can you forgive me?
10,000 coins? Oh boy, don't mind if I...
Wait, what did that note say earlier? It can also use tricks against you whenever it's low on health. I think I'll pass. What? You must be joking. You don't need any coins? Then how about this lovely rare extra special badge I have? I'll give you that. It's one of a kind, and it's yours for a limited time only. Will you take it? Tempting, but no. Really? Well, I suppose I could apologize by letting you smell the bombs on my feet. So, care to take a whiff of the rich yet delicate scent of my world-renowned feet? One-time offer.
Ugh, keep your fetish away from me!
I'm glad the remake left out the line that says, people pay good money to do this, or else we're gonna have a big problem. You aren't a very trusting fellow, are you? It's important to be able to trust someone, you know. I guess I better.
That's just not right!
Oh, now my strength has returned to me.
I've had enough of this. Let's finish this guy off fast, Mario.
It just got personal. Now we have to finish her off without an audience. But joke's on her. I can still put her in her place with the frog sound effects. This is the home stretch of the fight, so keep attacking until she croaks. But how? Why? There's still so much I want to do with my life. So many meals. I hate frogs.
Wow, we actually pulled it off, Mario. Now, all we have to do is find that crystal star thing you're looking for, Mario.
Yeah! I'm out! I'm finally out!
Whoa! It can't be!
Eh?
Dad?
After being separated for 10 years, Koops finally reunites with his father. Everyone in Petalburg thought he was gone, but here he is. Seriously, you've been trapped in her belly for 10 years? How did you survive? How are you not digested? It doesn't matter. We tell him we're looking for a crystal star. Oh, you just happen to have it? Huh, how convenient. Come on, I won't take no for an answer. You're Koops' friend, right? Please, take it.
Oh, yeah.
We got our first crystal star, and got a new special move, Earth Tremor. Every time we get a crystal star, we'll gain a new special move. One thing I missed from the original game is the text saying, "End of chapter." It feels more satisfying to say rather than cleared. One thing that was missing from the modern trilogy was the intermissions after each chapter. Here, we get to see where Princess Peach is being held. This is Grodus. He's the leader of the X-Nauts, and he wants the legendary treasure. He tries to interrogate Peach, but one of his troops call. He reports that someone got the crystal star from Hooktail. After describing what he looks like, Peach accidentally slips out his name. Now these guys are on to us. He sends Peach back to her room, tells Lord Crump to finish the mission, and calls in these three-looking shadow things. He tasks them to go after Mario and steal the magical map. Apparently the map is vital to their plan, but why? Also, the one in the red hat. She looks cute. Oh dear, here we go again. I can't believe I'm kidnapped again. Everyone must be worried sick again. But hang on a moment, where in the world am I anyway? It's so unfamiliar. I wish I could at least let Mario know that I've been caught. We now have the ability to control Princess Peach. She doesn't have a moveset like Mario, and there's not a lot we can explore, but you can visit the bathroom. There's a shower that you can use. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you watching that? Too bad. Respect privacy. I really like her ponytail look from Sunshine. That's adorable. After some fiddling around, the doors open automatically. We enter a hallway which for some reason isn't being guarded. Are these X-Nauts big slackers? Also, the way Peach reacts to the doors make her sound like a boomer.
Hello, Princess Peach.
This is a supercomputer created by Grotus, and his reason for bringing Peach here is, questionable, to say the least.
My higher brain circuitry malfunctioned and nearly overheated at your image. Also, an unidentified impulse sped through my processors. These events are new to me. There's more to this phenomenon as well. I ran diagnostic programs, and their solution was, I want to know more about you. I want to observe you.
You're such a creep.
Peach has a thought about this and doesn't believe it at first. She hesitates to answer, but after Tech insists, she thinks that he's in love with her. But Tech doesn't know what love is. Wait, you're a supercomputer and you don't know what love is? After explaining what love is, Tech asks Peach to teach him to feel love. In exchange, he'll grant her any wish, just as long as it's simple. Honestly, I don't blame Peach for not trusting him. Getting captured by goons and being forced to teach a machine love sounds ridiculous.
I should spit on your screen. You'll grant my wishes. Huh, why should I believe you?
Tech reassures her that there's no other option, and should just consider teaching him love, and ask her what her wish is. She asks if she can contact someone, and he allows it. He tells her to use the keyboard to send an email to anywhere she likes.
You mean this keyboard?
Oh my god, Peach, you're such a boomer! The email has been sent, and she's told to go back to her room.
Okay then. Good night. Good night, Princess Peach.
Did I mention there were 2 intermissions? Ladies and gentlemen, make way for the big dude, the king of awesome, Bowser! That's right, we can play as Bowser for a little bit. Not much we can do other than spy on our minions.
So the other day, I saw Bowser gazing longingly at a photo of Princess Peach. You might want to put a cork in it, man. Ooh, I tell you, the look on his face when he was mooning over that thing. Huh? Yeah! Lord Bowser!
We make our way to the end of the room, and the crusty old hag arrives. She tells him that Mario is in a town called Rogueport, looking for the crystal stars. This interests Bowser because, you know, power equals baddie wants it. She also spotted a lovely place called Meadows, and wants to invite Bowser and his minions for a picnic. This makes Bowser very pissed off, and he starts stomping. Wait a minute, so you're okay with doing fun activities like go-karting and playing sports, but you can't stand having picnics? There's something wrong with you. Just before things could get worse, Cammy gets word that Peach has been captured by a mysterious gang. This prompts Bowser to go into Rogueport and kidnap her back. So the two of them set off. Meanwhile in Petalburg, Koops is saying goodbye to his family. Now we must head back to Rogueport, which if you recalled from the prologue...
Hold the magical map aloft for the entrance to the 1,000-year door. Then the stars will light the way that lead to the stones of yesterday. And it didn't stop there. Each stone of yesterday shall shine and point towards the next in line. That's what the books say, which means if we take the crystal stars we found back to the 1,000-year door...
So, that means the location of the next crystal star will appear on that magic map?
Exactly! Come on, let's go!
Hold on, I want to see what this kid has been up to. Oh, you're playing the sequel to Paper Mario? Sounds meta, but how cute! Well, in conclusion, Chapter 1 is... Oh, hold on a second, everyone.
My dearest Mario, I sent this letter in hopes that it reaches you safely. I am being held against my will in a strange place. Though I do not know where I am, I remain unharmed and in relative comfort. Those who have captured me seem to be after the map I sent you earlier.
They may be hoping to use it to find objects they call the crystal stars. I do not know what they are planning, but I have a feeling it's not anything positive. They must be aware that you have the map, so please be very careful. And please, don't worry about me, Princess Peach.
Wow, you got mail from a princess. That's so cool! So anyway, sounds like she's unhurt. That's good, at least. But I don't like the sound of those kidnappers looking for the crystal stars. We should head back to Rogueport where you started and begin the search for the next crystal star.
And search for the next crystal star we shall, but that will have to wait until next time. Overall, Chapter 1 does a great job telling the player what kind of adventure they're in. It introduces overworlds, towns, dungeons, puzzles, and character development. There's been a lot of Mario games where the first world starts in a sunny day with a grassy hill, but Petal Meadows is clearly doing its own parody of classic fairy tales, where the hero must storm the castle to fight a dragon. With Hooktail terrorizing the citizens of Petalburg, a shy Koopa finds the strength inside him to come out of his shell and avenge his people. When he finally saves his dad, he feels more confident, he grows stronger, he's a different Koopa than the timid kid he was. Chapter 1 is pretty basic with its plot and level structure, but that's okay. You want your first world to be nice and easy as a good introduction. The plot is simple, the objective is straightforward, and our new partner goes through a basic character arc. It's a first impression, and it knocks it out of the park. And as we go through more chapters, we'll see more complex character arcs, more unique levels, and more challenging bosses. This is just scratching the surface. Where will the magical map lead us next? What new friends and baddies will Paper Mario face? Where exactly is Peach being held? Find out next time in the legendary retrospective of Paper Mario, the 1000-Year Door!